It is the rhythm of the city, 94.3 WYBC. I am Wanda Carthage. You know, WYBC and Yale University. We are joining teams to salute small Black owned businesses right here in New Haven. One of them that we're saluting today, I'm not that familiar with. Maybe you aren't either, which is why we're doing this. It's Atlantic Capital Investments. They're over on Whalley Avenue, 500 Whalley Ave. I have the CEO with me. His name is Allen McCollum. He's going to tell us all about it. How are you, Allen?
I'm fantastic, and it's a little unfortunate you're not familiar. Juan knows me very well.
Juan Castillo knows everyone in the city, so
That is true. That is true. That is true. But I've been servicing the city in this capacity for got to be 25 years.
25 years. Have you been in that particular location for that time?
No, no, no. This is a newer location. I was on 1942 State Street in Hamden for the better part of that 25 years.
Okay. So tell us about Atlantic Capital Investments. What do you do?
Atlantic Capital Investments is a private investment company. We were Atlantic mortgage lenders through the early 2000s. We actually have gotten mortgages for this community through that whole particular time. A lot of it we focused on what they used to call subprime, which is primarily our community, those
Right.
who don't really have the credit scores or the wherewithal to actually obtain property, but we've kind of built a niche in understanding those issues and being able to kind of get around them and be able to get quite a few people and get them their first house, and showing them a lot about how to do wealth building. Again, quite a few people in the city do know who I am.
Mm-hmm.
I've helped thousands of people throughout the city in that capacity. Born and raised here, of course.
Nice.
And have been able to show them again how to build wealth through investments in real estate.
So you offer those type of classes at your location?
Well, I don't do classes anymore. I used to do a lot of seminars and a lot of classes, and we're kind of moving back into doing some of that again. Everything now is post-COVID, so
Yes.
it's
Mm-hmm.
about trying to restructure and put that back together in a safe way. But I get calls all the time. They always know I'm here to help them and here to train them if need be, and bringing people on to the company. And I've trained hundreds of folk in this community how to do this.
So, Ellen, let's say I am looking to purchase my first home, and all I have is just the idea. Like today, I decided that is what I want to do, and I contact you. What would be the routine? What's the protocol that you will be walking me through to get me to that goal?
Well, if you come to me, I kind of want to explore more than you just wanting your first home.
Okay.
Because I'd like to know, why you want your first home and what is the long-term goal of your first home. Are you looking to get into real estate to build wealth, to have some kind of financial legacy, or you just want to be able to have your own home for the first time? And I go beyond that.
Okay.
I go beyond just saying you want your first home. But to answer that question more directly, I would probably see, where you are financially, where your credit situation is, and then kind of structure it based on that. Now, say you didn't have decent credit and you had very little money. There's tons and tons of programs that are available for you to be able to take part in it. I mean, you go through a few classes to get FHA certified. You get your FHA certification, where at that point you only have to put about 3% down at max, and then there are programs to help you with that. That gives you $10,000 to $20,000 towards acquisition and closing and stuff like that. So you can pretty much get into something with a little to no money down, and a lot. Now, when people say no money down, it's not completely no money down. You
Of
have to
course not. Right.
you have to have some kind of capital. You have to have some kind of income. But I mean, if say you have little to no income, but you want to get in it and you don't technically qualify because of your lack of income, then I'd kind of steer you in in a different direction. I'd steer you into being well, I'd see what your taste is for being a landlord. For,
Mm-hmm.
and if you're interested in being a landlord, then we'd go into the investment side of that, which is, how to purchase multi units.
Yes.
You see, and with multi units, you can pretty much get in with no money or very little money if it's structured properly. If you know how to, if through me show you, how can we approach that. I would say, well, a lot of people come to me and want to start with like 3-family houses. A lot because they're apprehensions about getting in, don't know much about it.
Right.
If you want to get into it from a financial perspective to build some wealth, I always push go 6 families or up. And I'd get into telling you why it's actually much better for you because of the vacancy factors involved with that. But for
Sounds
the
like you have a lot of knowledge in this area. You about to do the whole class right now. We only have about 7 minutes.
I'm about to stop. Like I said, I can go on and on because this is what I do.
Yeah, it sounds like it. Absolutely. You're very, very informed. What about businesses? You help with the capital for startup businesses as well. Do you also provide tips for stocks and bonds and things of that nature when creating wealth?
I do that. I dabble in stocks and bonds, but that is not my forte. Not enough to really, advise anybody. I mean,
Okay.
but I do have teams of people. I have a big team in all different capacities. Anything from that to construction, from ground up to everything. So, if stocks and bonds is where your interests were, I definitely have a lot of my
Some
colleagues
knowledge
in
there.
Wall Street.
Well, of course, if you've been doing this for 25 years, of course you're going to have some knowledge in just about every single area possible. Before
Absolutely.
we wrap up, and if you're just tuning in, this is the CEO, Allen McCollum of Atlantic Capital Investments. You've been doing this for 25 years. What made you start in this business?
Wanted independence, make some money. you know,
Right.
I mean, in our community when I was growing up, there wasn't a lot of people that you can kind of emulate on wealth building. But I understood real estate from the very beginning. I understood that that's where all the big businesses, no matter where you are, that's where they are. McDonald's doesn't make all its money on burgers. Their money is in real estate. They
Mm,
own they own the most prime real estate throughout the world. Wherever you see a McDonald's, it's prime real estate. If you look at a lot of the big investment companies, currently what we're having a problem with now is that these large investment companies like Berkshire Hathaway and those types of companies are buying up real estate. Why?
right.
Because they understand that that is something that always going to be there. No matter how the economy changes, people are going to need a place to live.
Absolutely. I think we learned that from the very beginning when playing a game called Monopoly,
Absolutely.
how valuable that was.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
That
I
hadn't
feel like
changed.
exactly. You got to buy up Boardwalk.
Yeah.
And Mr. Allen can teach you how to do that. Listen, we are saluting small Black owned businesses here in New Haven. Allen McCollum has one of them, Atlantic Capital Investments. In that short period of time, I don't know if you were fed knowledge, but I know I definitely was. And if you need to get more of that, you need to speak to this man. I honestly wish we had more time because I feel like you have so much more to say and to teach.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And I
So
love teaching it too. So I'm not stingy with knowledge.
I know that's right. Well, I like that. So maybe we'll have to do a part 2 to this and get you on the electric drum so you could just go ahead and let us know more information. But in the meantime, I need you to schedule an appointment to meet with Allen McCollum and those over at Atlantic Capital Investments, 500 Whalley Ave. He is who we are saluting today for our small Black owned businesses with Yale University. Allen, I thank you for your time.
I thank you for having me on. Appreciate it.
No problem. We'll reconnect because we have to expand on this interview.
Wonderful.
In the
Wonderful.
meantime, let's get back into the music. It's 94.3 WYBC, the rhythm of the city.